Hey guys, welcome to Mastering the Social Media Landscape. And we have 4 agents with us doing business a little bit differently through social media. And I'm going to go through from left to right, if you wouldn't mind, in my left to my right, introducing you guys. And so let us know who you are, what you're either your team or you an individual, and how long you've been in the business.
I am Amanda Ryder. I am a part of a team. I'm the A in AN Homes, Colorado. Been in the business. This is my 6th year in the business. And I think I answered all your questions.
Perfect.
I'm Erica Anderson. I'm solo, and I'm probably the newest one. I've been here for 3 months.
Awesome.
Yeah. I'm Renee Sobering of Team Sobering. I work with my husband Daryl. I have been licensed since February of 2020.
I'm Nikki Castillo. I am the Inn in AN Homes, Colorado. And this is my 5th year.
Awesome. Awesome. So the 4 of you are doing social media at different ways, which is very neat. You've been in the business for different lengths of time, and you've all had success either building the pipeline, turning deals, just taking massive mind share for what you're doing. So to kick this thing off, the first question: what specific social media platforms have you found most effective for reaching your target audience? And so we'll start with Nikki.
Yeah. I think our demographic and our target audience are a little bit older, more the luxury spectrum. So they do a little Instagram, but I think Facebook overall is our bread and butter.
Facebook and email.
Awesome.
Facebook and Instagram. as
Facebook,
well.
Instagram.
Yeah. I'm pretty much solely on Instagram. I have it linked to my Facebook account for that purpose, but posting and interacting with people on Instagram.
Awesome. And yours is the same.
Facebook, yeah, Facebook, definitely. I think it depends on who your sphere is, right? I'm in my 40s. And Facebook, or as my mom likes to tell, or my daughter likes to tell me, it's called Mom Book. It is, I think, has moved to a little bit of an older demographic, and we just get a lot more interaction. I can definitely see, depending on who your sphere is and what sort of platform they're using, if you have great success through TikTok or Instagram or even LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Depending on who your sphere
Do
is.
you use LinkedIn?
I should go back to using more of LinkedIn because my background, I come from a corporate America background. So I spent 15 years in corporate America. So I do have a really large LinkedIn network of people I know all over the country. I should be tapping into that, but now that my director of operations who's on here is starting to take things off of our plate, more of that is going to be how do we then double down on, we have the sphere that we already have and are very in touch with. How do I expand that and take the other people who know me, who have a good opinion of me, who have a relationship with me, and make sure that they understand I'm not a government affairs person anymore. I'm a real estate agent and I can help them all over the place.
Absolutely. So if we're thinking about that, and you guys all said pretty much Facebook and Instagram or just Instagram. And Instagram will be a little bit differently, but personal or business page?
So when I very first started, I always had my personal page and I created a business page. My personal page got hacked, so I lost access to everything I had for 11 years. So I lost that. When we joined a team, we created a business page. However, I now have kind of a formula for just my personal page that is more personal, but I integrate the business side of it and I get so much more interaction from that than we ever do on our business page.
Awesome.
Both, probably equally. I use I'm trying to create basically a community with Denver Boulder Living, and I've started to get more and more interaction, mostly from people that know me, but they've noticed that I'm interacting with Facebook more on that platform, so they're following me to that platform, which is actually great because it helps me from business side of things. But I usually always post, especially if it's something personal that I'm putting on my business page, I always post it there and then share it to my personal.
Yeah.
So that I get to share and interaction that way. So I do a lot of my own personal, I just have to really think about what I want, what want for my personal life to be shown on my business page. The other stuff I put on my personal page, so things that I like, you know, I went for a run today, you know, they don't really care, or, you know. that's-
Well, they might.
They might. Stating on those things, what's somebody that is interested in
Yeah.
this community gonna care about versus what is she keeping on my own personal page.
Like it, awesome.
I mainly use a business page. I'm probably also the only dual career person on the panel.
Mhm.
I do criminal defense. I'm an attorney and it's like a really hard boundary. I don't want any of my criminal defense clients on my personal pages
Yeah.
and things like that. So, I kind of got pigeonholed into the business page, but I try to do the same thing. I'll share my business post on my personal Instagram so that my personal friends, I can try to get the benefit of the
Mhm.
followers that I have on my personal page. Because building up the business page is a
Yeah.
little more difficult. And then I also try to make it feel personal. So I might do hiking posts or like, here's where I'm getting happy hour tapas today in Denver or something like that. To try to give it that personal feel.
Perfect. What you made up?
I have both. See, that's the thing. I
Yeah.
mean. I do a lot through my personal Facebook page. I have so many Instagram pages that I have trouble keeping up with all of the Instagram pages. So it's really both, because it's our AN Homes Facebook page and then mine, but I try to do kind of the same thing like Nikki does. Like sometimes I'm going to post and share, and sometimes I'm just going to post, because I'm always interested in seeing what sort of posts gets more interaction.
Yeah.
Because whether it's my business page or my personal page, I'm happy with either of them getting interaction. I just want them to get interaction.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like the shared topics get as much hits and they're probably raised higher in the feed than if it's actually posted from you.
Because it's probably part of the Facebook algorithm
Yes.
is the
Yeah.
fact that that's a business page and it's gonna get treated differently, and anything that gets shared with gets treated different.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. I like it. So. What do you determine, or how do you determine your content strategy, right? So some of you were managing both, some of you were managing mostly one, like, how do you determine how you're going to do your content? We'll start with you, Renee.
Well, I was licensed in February of 2020.
Yeah.
This is a great time to hear this.
It sounds like it.
Right, and so basically everything shut down after that, and I was like, well, what should I do? So I found a thing called community influencer. It's a course, and I was like, one of those things where like they give you the intro and then they're like, hey, buy our course, and I was like. And so I did it, and it was great. It gave me a lot of really good information. I never would have known any of this stuff without that course. So they actually, I'm still a member of CIA, basically.
Sure.
The CIA. But they have posts that we can use
Yeah,
for the entire month, every month, so I can pull from those if I want to,
yeah,
or I can make up my own stuff. But the main thing is it's more about making sure that I don't mess up the 80-20 rule. Everybody knows the 80-20 rule.
hit me with it.
80% personal, 20% business, even on my business page. Because honestly, like if you just only post about being a real estate agent, people are gonna be like, bye.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we don't care,
Yeah.
it's boring, you know, we're all interested in real estate, but other people are not nearly as interested as we are. So 80-20, and even now, I would even more say 90-10, because
Yeah.
people are so sick of being marketed to that, like. You need to convince them to work with you,
Yeah,
so show them who you are, not your business, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
absolutely.
I don't know.
I like it.
Yeah.
What about you, Nikki?
I do post a lot of personal things because I feel that they get to know me, they get to know my wife,
Yeah.
my family. I've got 3 kids, where they go to school, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
My kids, the 2 older ones want to be actors, so they have no problem being on social media, you know, doubt for less word. But then I'm very cognizant of what I'm posting. I try to alternate through my children and my husband, like I just posted something about my husband today. It was kind of about him, but I do a lot of today's National Whatever Day, and today is National Bourbon Day. My husband's favorite drink is Maker's Mark. So I just kind of combine that, but when I do a social post, I try to integrate also another local business that we use, so I tag them in it. So not only getting my people, I'm getting anybody that would follow them. So I'm trying to be methodical in what I'm doing, and I do kind of the 80-20 rule, but I try to do 3 personal posts to 1 business post. But I think it helps in everybody feeling like they know me, they can trust me. My kid's working at Tap Window, and I had a couple people from our neighborhood that have never met him in his life, but they're like, "Are you taking us to your son? Aren't you going to NYU?" You know, and he's like they know our family, which is good, you know, what we try to get across in our business is every client that we have is actually a relationship, it's not a transaction. So when they know my family, they are part of our circle and part of our family, part of our friends, and so I think it's kind of creating a trust.
I like that. So when you're touching a holiday and you plug your husband in it, are you asking a question or are you just making a
I do that
statement?
as
Like,
well.
what are we doing for the
Yeah.
engagement?
So basically, I say today's, just say, I combined like a Canva or website.
Sorry.
It was for social media, like a picture of a whiskey and just that it's National Bourbon Day. Said I don't love bourbon, but I do love a strawberry bourbon mojito at Bluegrass Lounge.
Yeah.
But what is your favorite, bourbon drink? So it kind of combines a lot of things. I don't just say, like, and I did in the beginning, which kitchen's your favorite? 1, 2, 3, or 4, just,
Right.
but it didn't create engagement. So this one gives several different reasons to
Yeah.
engage in the post.
I'm not sure if it's true, but I actually read that if you ask a question on Facebook, the algorithm sometimes puts your post lower because it's like you're asking for clicks.
It
And
could be.
they don't like you to do that.
My questions are usually at now.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
So I like today, I was
Yeah.
exactly what I said,
Mhm.
I don't love whiskey, but this is my favorite whiskey guy or whatever,
Yeah.
and then I did all the hashtags, and at the end it's like, what is your favorite bourbon drink?
Yeah, there you go.
Awesome.
Try to hide it in there.
Yeah, I mean, and here's the thing, you have to continue sort of working on your approach because Facebook is always going to be changing the algorithm. They're always going to be changing the rules of the game.
Yep.
And aside from that, back to what Nikki said, please make sure that you're updating and changing your passwords.
Mhm.
And watch links. Nobody's sending you a, hey, look at this video of you I found from so long ago. No, they're not. Those are the quickest ways in which you're gonna lose that platform to somebody that's trying to hijack it. So this just comes from being married to an IT security professional. Change your passwords. Please don't use all the same passwords on all the platforms. And if you store your passwords in your phone, get a something like a what's it called Splash ID, which is actually an encrypted program to keep all of your passwords in, because I just don't think we talk enough about that. And to Nikki's point, like I got a thing about 2 weeks ago where somebody tried to log into Facebook from like Oregon. I don't live in Oregon. I haven't been there in a long time. And so I went in and I immediately changed all of my social media passwords. And I haven't seen any sort of attempt yet. So that's just another thing to be wary of, because most things are also like, how many platforms or apps do you sign up to where you're signing up through your Facebook login?
Mhm.
Change your login information. Don't let somebody else hijack your account. I know it's happened to Debbie. I know it happened to Nikki. It's happened to a lot of people.
To lose 11 years of photos,
Mm.
it's really hard.
Yeah, you never even get that.
And
no one's or anybody to talk to.
I was gonna say, I know we're gonna say, don't have any customers.
I've been Facebook ads.
Yeah.
And it takes a long time to
It
get that.
does.
Like if you happen to get reported for violence and stuff, and even if you haven't done it.
Yeah.
Really, from Facebook jail sucks, so don't get it.
Yeah.
Facebook jail sucks. Got it.
Yes. Hashtag.
Yes. Nada, what about you? Like, how do you pick your strategy as you're going out there?
Well, I mean, I think it just depends on what do you want to talk about, right? I mean, there's a ton of resources out there. It also depends on what sort of KW sections you're in, right? I'm sure Young Professionals has suggestions. You can go, if you have nothing else, you can go right on command and there's new designs and suggested posts. We're earned in luxury agents. There is a luxury set of posts that comes out every month that you can set up. And again, you can set up posts in command. You don't just, I mean, you can use Facebook too. And you know, it just depends on what sort of your goal is. But I mean, there's a national day of everything, like Andrea from Land Title was in here, she can give you, make sure you're posting market stats, you know. It just depends on what you want to talk about. I try, and Nikki and I try to stay authentic kind of to our own voice. Like, I'm not gonna go and post about, I'm not a wine person. I'm not gonna probably go and post about wine, right? I am more interested in going camping and stuff like that, right? So I'm gonna post about camping and other stuff like that, right? So post on what speaks to you, because part of expanding your sphere, I think, is talking about what other people in your sphere are interested in. And again, you're creating that connection. A big part of what I would say made social media such a big growth for me was just Facebook groups. I moved here 8 years ago. I didn't know anybody other than some cousins that I had. And my community that I moved into at the time was in the first 350 homes. And I created a group to get to know people. That group has almost 2,000 people in it now. And I mean, through that group, we are known as, like, you know, the preeminent agents and people who live in our neighborhood.
What's that neighborhood again?
It can help.
Okay, no, let's go.
I currently have 4 listings. If you have any buyers, dear God, please bring them. So I mean, it just depends on what you want to talk about. I think the more authentic you can be about talking what you know and what you like, the more people are going to want to engage with you. And don't judge what you're doing by what other people do. Do it, you know, are you into horses? Are you into basketball? What are you into? There's definitely a sphere out there for you. So make sure you're tapping into it, also showing that side of yourself. Because the longer I do this, the more I really realize it is about relationships, and people want to work with people they feel like they know, they like, they can trust.
Yeah.
That's what moves this, that then moves this.
Absolutely. I like it. But you are, like, as you're going through and you're putting out content tonight, and again, you're on Instagram, you're different than the other 3 in this room. And I see a lot of day in the life videos, but like, how do you pick your strategy and for your content?
I think to even start a little backwards to choosing a platform. For me, I don't use Facebook in my personal life, and I noticed it was really difficult for me to want to like log on there and start posting. I use Instagram in my personal life all the time, so it was really like a natural, this is just, I know I can post consistently here, I'm comfortable, I consume a lot of content on Instagram, I know what goes on there. So that's sort of how I made that decision to focus my time on Instagram. And I'll look for things, honestly, I'll look for like silly trending sounds, and those get pumped out like crazy by the algorithm.
What's that mean?
What?
Trending sounds?
Yes, like if you do like a voiceover or something, it'll pump it out like crazy, or like a song.
Is that what you mean, like when one that's like, oh, it's that same voice that's like, here's what I did in my day today, or like, it's like the same voice, I'm like, shut up. It's just like, I'm like, is that like that?
Like, I would say one of the best examples that I use for training from is I use a lot of videos and pictures of my cat.
You know,
And like there's like a cat area of Instagram, and like all of my suggested ads and content that I get come to as a consumer are cats. So like I'm reaching those people, and it'll be a silly video that's just like I don't know, it'll be like, look at my cat, and they'll show like different videos of it sleeping, playing, like, and everybody who then uses that sound, like Instagram just pumps it out. So I can reach with like, you know, 100 or 200 followers on Instagram. Instagram has like insights where you can see the accounts that you're reaching. And I would say like 90% of the people that I'm reaching come from the reels and the trending sounds. So my reach is probably closer to like 5,000 to 6,000 people on Instagram when I only have a couple hundred followers, because I'm taking these sounds that Instagram is pumping out. So that's kind of how I decide. I'll just go through, and if I think something seems funny, or if I have an idea about it, I'll bookmark it and just kind of keep it in my archive. And then also I'll mix in like a featured listing post or like market. or something like that, but that's kind of how I find stuff.
So you're scrolling through Instagram, you're in the search feed, you're on your wall, I don't know what Instagram version of the wall is. But you're scrolling through, and at the very top left, there is either a soundtrack or a sound bite. And you were clicking on it and it has all the different videos that are associated with that. You're like, I like this, I'm saving it, and then I'm creating something around it.
Yes, and then I have at this point, probably hundreds of things I've bookmarked at some point. So when I get around to filming, I just need to open up the things that I've already saved, and I don't have to be scrambling. I do, or I'll like type in my notes app, like here's a video idea I want to do.
So for people that are posting on Instagram, then would you suggest that they always have sound associated with their posts if possible? Does it make it?
Yes, that's how Instagram kind of pumps it out.
Okay.
And then.
So for people who are only posting pictures on Instagram, they're kind of losing out.
Now they are, yeah.
Yeah, I think it depends, because I think Instagram's like goal is to get people to stay on their platform, and people are gonna be consuming more content if it's like a video. So I just personally have noticed on my account that my videos reach literally thousands more people than my static posts do.
And your videos are those reels?
Yes, exactly,
Okay.
it's a reel, so
Okay.
it's, I don't use TikTok, but it's Instagram's
Right.
version.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Awesome.
That's
So
one question. Do you post it on your story or you actually do a post to it? Or
I'll do an actual post, and then sometimes I'll share it on my story, sometimes I'll like be sneaky and maybe share it on my story a day later, and then try to drive people to go back to it.
Okay.
are you doing any highlights then? So are you doing any story highlights to where you're bookmarking your stories for later consumption?
I don't have any yet,
Mhm.
but yes, that's something that I think would be valuable.
Awesome. So let's go back to you and let's ask, what's your frequency? Like, do you have a posting schedule? And it sounds like it is I'm collecting and creating content, but is there a cadence that you look for?
I try to make about 3 posts a week.
Mhm.
I don't have a schedule. I think just for me with my other job is also very demanding.
Mhm.
Just trying to get to it when I can at this point in my career, I think is the best way for me to make it sustainable. I know I'm not gonna be able to do it every day, so I don't try to set this up first.
Awesome. Amanda?
I mean, I think the more the better.
Yeah.
How do you get things to stick at the wall? You have to throw more stuff at it.
Thank you, mess on the floor too.
Yeah, but for us, I think, we're working on being more consistent. Definitely was sort of hodgepodge for a long time as we grew our business and tried to figure out how to juggle that in our personal lives and all of that. We're still figuring that out, by the way. Spoiler alert. But now that we also have somebody who works with us who is not a real estate agent, she is our director of operations, we're able to lean on her a little bit more for our cadence and consistency. But I mean, we're learning too, right? I mean, that's the thing, this is an ever evolving world, right? And so it's gonna keep changing, right? The algorithm's gonna keep changing. I feel like what's trending is gonna keep changing, right? So the more the better, but don't drive yourself too crazy.
Absolutely.
It's not worth it.
I have actually worked for a company in the past where we did schedule posts out, weeks in advance, and this is when it went out. And I hate routine. I do not like time block. I do not like
We don't.
anything consistent.
Are you a hike?
I am like alignments,
Yeah.
and I need something different all the time. A little baby or a little bit of ADHD mixed for me. But so I just feel like it's inauthentic if I'm scheduling my posts out. I mean, I know you can do it on a platform and it's scheduled, and that's just not who I am. I need to feel it in the moment, and that's how I am.
Sure. Renee?
I was doing scheduled posts a while back, and I have 2 small children at home.
Mhm.
And the scheduling ahead of the posts was definitely helpful. It just helped me feel like less stressed about figuring out what I'm gonna do today or
Yeah.
figuring out what I'm gonna post today. That has gone to hell wow. With 2 small children, and we just had, I don't know, our family had like this whole post-pandemic illness thing where we were just, everybody was sick, one after the other. So the frequency and stuff, I just had to give myself a lot of grace,
Yeah.
and I was like, I'm gonna do what I can. And then I'm just gonna, I'll up the frequency when I can, and so if you look back on my social media over the last like 6 or 9 months, it's nothing what it was compared to when I was like really going at it, but I think it just, as much as you can. Is the main answer, just like post as much as you can, and don't push it, don't just post something to post.
Yeah.
Because people can tell, if it's just like a random whatever that
Right.
you don't really care about, it's, people can see that, they can see through that, so post something that you care about. And they'll see it, and if you can't do it every day, don't do it every day, if you can, do it.
However, I have to say something really funny, because I told Amanda, I ran into some people that live in our neighborhood last night and in Old Town.
It's this little community, you may have heard of it.
So we were talking and they said, man, you and Amanda are killing it. And I said, well, thank you very much, it's very sweet, and they're like, because, I mean, I don't think the other agent that lives in our neighborhood is doing as well as you guys, because she never posts anything.
So
So it's perfect. If you are, keep yourself out there, and whether it's an under contract, or you're having an open house, or you're at someone else's open house, I don't know, all they know is you are working. And those who are not posting, they think, well, maybe they're not doing very well, maybe they're not selling anything right now.
So if you're showing houses,
Yeah,
if you're just
perception.
previewing houses, I mean, they don't know that you're not out with buyers right now showing them a house,
Right.
while you're out previewing, give yourself some content. Make it, and I mean, the video, I would say, I think there was one question we had been talking about was kind of, what did you wish you would have known? I wish I would have understood years ago how critical video was going to be.
That we still don't do.
We're working on it, it's on the way.
That we talk about every day, but
Yeah.
one of us is always in yoga pants, we're like.
I know, I'm like, I keep going like
"They're
this."
filming days.
Go on like this.
Filming multiple videos in one day because I put my makeup on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, what's
Back to back. Real Housewives, they wear the same outfits in all of their interviews, so, I'm just saying, but I wish I would have. Nobody needs to see that.
I have been in the only one gets to see this.
Yes. My neighbors take the dog out in the morning, they're the only people. that do it.
Best side.
I stepped way out of my comfort zone yesterday, and I was like, cause I always do this little market update, and I decided to do a live, like, market update with my hat on, no makeup, and after my workout. And I was like, oh my god, I'm like about to have a heart attack.
Debbie, can you do that?
Could I do,
If you do the whole video update with without done.
It's hard. But I've heard.
I don't wanna scare people away.
The more real and the more raw, the better. I'm like, do you want to hear me say on that many times? I don't know.
I just think you have to be authentic, right? Whatever that looks like, whoever you are, you get to decide that. You just might be all whatever.
Yeah.
You guys do one of my videos.
People want to consume. Yeah, people just want to consume though, and I wish that I had realized that and really internalized that earlier.
Yeah.
Because I know, I mean, just for example, the tax assessment piece, right? So with the tax assessments that came out, they really hit our neighborhood really hard. I mean, they hit everybody hard, but particularly it was like, people going up $200,000, $300,000 in value. And what I noticed is through the emails I wrote and the social posts I did, people don't want to read. They would much rather if I was able to get my act together and spend 5 minutes doing a video and explaining and verbally putting out there what I wanted them to know, which I did put out there. It's just, it was in written format.
Right.
And I think that, I mean, obviously it was very good information to get out. We had a lot of conversations and exchanges, and we probably added 20 people to our database because of tax assessments, quality contacts too. But I need to do more video. And so if you're, not doing social media now, you're starting to do social media, just make sure you have video on your radar and figuring out what that looks like for you. It can be Facebook Lives, it can be Reels. My problem is I'm a perfectionist and I want like a full production. And I want it to have like flow and script and I want it to be of a certain caliber, and that's gonna be something I'm gonna have to internalize and come down to, I can only do what I can do.
Yeah.
And it doesn't
I'm
even
not
have
there
to be
yet.
great, so I've got a girlfriend in Dallas who's maybe gonna get agent. And she has just started posting every single day, or I'd say every other day, and she does a video. But they take up, like, what is an HOA compared to a special metro district, which is one that we could just, and she makes a 30-second video explaining the differences. That's it, but there's one like every 2 or 3 days explaining some other terminology that's basically a definition, but it's your face explaining how it works.
Which puts you at the expert.
Exactly.
Awesome, so, Renee, we'll kick it back to you, what's the most engaging content that you put out there? So like, you're like, this is what I put out, and this is where I get comments, likes, whatever, what is that?
Stuff about my kids.
Yeah,
Yeah, like you said, pimping out your kids. Like, my kids love being on film too, they always film stuff. The most recent one, my daughter had her first swim meet. And I videoed her, oh god, it's hilarious, her little dive as she dove, it was
Everything.
But anyways, like, I mean, so many people, so much, anything that has to do with my family and my kids.
yeah, Ninja Warrior course,
Yeah, what's up?
the Ninja Warrior.
Oh, the Ninja Warrior stuff, yeah, like I love my kids and I do a lot of activities and stuff, and Layla's also like a monkey on the ninja stuff, so, yeah. And I also, again, kind of similar to you, when it's something like that and it's like the Ninja Warrior or the Warrior Challenge Arena that she goes to, then I'll like tag them and be like, hey, this is where she goes, in case you're curious and you want somewhere to send your kids, so, yeah.
Awesome, Erica.
I think I kind of already mentioned this, but my cat and by spend time the engagement.
Yeah, wait to see it.
I know, right?
It's
I love it.
algorithm. And then pretty close second is me doing a stupid voiceover of a stupid sound that I found, just because of the way that they pump those things out. Yeah.
Awesome, Amanda.
Honestly, lately it's just been, again, personal stuff. People are way more interested in the personal stuff. One of the best posts I had was when we bought our property.
Mhm.
I mean, I had like 150 comments when we bought our property, and I posted, we bought property and this and that, and people, I mean, it was almost both, right? It was real estate and it was personal. And then it's just been interesting to see, because the more posts I have like that where people are engaging, the more they're seeing all of my stuff, right? So, outdoorsy stuff, my kid, my dog, stupid things that I do or say, because I do a lot of stupid things. And, just honestly, even just pictures of Nikki and I doing random stuff, like we hosted a garage sale in that little neighborhood that you never heard of. And we were posting, we went out during the garage sale to, again, get social media to promote the garage sale. We went out with donuts and we were stopping by garage sales and handing out donuts. Nikki got pictures of me handing out donuts. I got pictures of her getting mimosas. We were, I had a whole group around me at one point of gentlemen that wanted to talk tax assessments, right? So we kind of took our own sort of day in the life of and event and put it together. And there was all sorts of comments. Thanks for coming by. It was so nice to meet you. We were posting pictures of, other artisans in our community that make cool things. Look at these cool things that such and such, made, because part of what I want to do, what we want to do with our business is we want to also elevate other small business through our business. So we are looking also for those ways in which, like with Bluegrass Bourbon and Coffee, like with other organizations or artists, that we can kind of cross promote just to help everybody get exposure to it this year.
What about you, Nikki?
I would say the biggest engagement I've gotten lately is, it was World Ocean Day the other day. So I promoted it and I said, I would love to see your pictures of you at the, on the beach, or at the beach or on the ocean. I mean, flooded. Everybody wants to show their vacation pictures, and then everybody comments, and you comment on everybody's photo that comes on. I mean, every time you comment on someone's photo or post, ask Andrea Plum. She is the queen of commenting. people, and she does it for a reason, because then her posts stay current with everything in your feed all the time. So the more you engage with everybody, the more you're gonna be at the top of their feed.
You have to comment, I like.
You have to comment.
Yeah.
Same as like,
Yeah.
anything with a little, yeah.
Exactly. Right.
Thank you.
You're welcome, thanks for leaving early.
Yeah.
Renee, let's kick it over to you. So any specific features or tools that you have been using specifically for your marketing side social media?
Canva. I mean, Canva is like your go-to for everything. I use Clipchamp for all my video editing because Clipchamp is a little more robust than Canva. It allows me to add multiple audio tracks if I want. I can add like visual effects like, you know, titles and they flood in, flood out, fade in, fade out, music and all that fun stuff. So you can get a lot more detailed, you know, it's a rabbit hole. If you're a creative person though, and you can literally like dive down the rabbit hole and 4 hours later come up and you're like, I'm still working on this 30-second video.
Yeah.
But Clipchamp is awesome. There's one that I found, if you are like me and you don't like to do live stuff, I like a script. I've been in theater for years, I like my scripts. So I always like to have my video script written out. And I just started using it, so I honestly don't remember the name of it. So I'll have to actually look and see what the name of it is after. It's a teleprompter, but it's not the one that's called teleprompter, it's called Prompt Smart.
There we go.
And what I love about it is that you don't have to have it rolling at the same speed. It follows your voice.
Oh, cool.
So you can speak fast and then you can slow down and it will actually adjust. So you don't have to sound like a robot and
Yeah.
when you're trying to read your script, it's kind of awesome. That's been a huge game
Are you putting that
changer.
on an iPad?
It can go on your desktop, it can also go on your phone. So I usually do it on my phone because I like to have this visual. So I
Yeah,
can see.
yeah. So you're
Also for
looking
my,
at it
in
and-
my eye line, when I'm for filming, I find if I try to do it on my desktop, I can't see and look at the camera because I can tell that I'm reading when I
Yeah.
look at the video. So with the phone, if I'm this way, then I find that I can actually look at my own face and I can see where I'm at, and you can adjust where the teleprompter goes, so you can have it start like right in the middle of your eye line, so you look like you're looking right at the camera,
Yeah,
but you're not, you're actually reading the screen.
awesome.
What was that called again?
Prompt Smart.
Prompt Smart, I like it. What was the other one with the rabbit hole?
Oh, Clipchamp.
Debbie, rip that up. Don't run with that.
Yeah.
Nikki, what about you?
I have 6 different video apps on my phone that slice together videos.
Yeah.
So I do different ones every time, because again, I get bored with this routine. But I love what she does, but because she does it so well, I don't even touch it, but she
Yeah.
does Ripple.
All right,
So I go to her because she does so many things, but then we actually upload every single Ripple, all that stuff to our YouTube channel. So when we're at houses doing open houses, we have our video of our house up on YouTube at the house that's playing on their smart TVs. And then right after comes the ripple of, you know, the open house, we're just listed. So there's all our media that's on our Facebook, and our Instagram is also on YouTube if it's a video.
Or if you want to have an iPad with you
Yeah.
at your open house, you could have an iPad with you and keep your YouTube channel up. Part of the reason we do that is because with in most of our price points at a certain level, we're always doing a big video and we're doing drone and all of that. And I want to be able to show people when we're at the house, okay, look, I'm going to pause this right here. We're right here. Let me zoom out and let me show you where the pool is. Let me show you what the views look like, you know, but
We've had people sitting on couches in
Right.
front of us before and just watching the video. And then, what's next?
what is that?
So,
Some of them need to find other things to do.
right.
But again, just the more that you can get people to engage and talk with you, yeah, Ripple, RIPL, it's a subscription-based service. I think it's like $14.99 a month. You can have multiple accounts. I used to spend a little bit more time doing social posting for other things that I'm interested in. Where I was like, oh, like I make soap, you should sell your soap. I'm like, I sell houses and I make a lot more money selling houses. And soap is just a passion for mine, right? But like, if you like, say you had a cat rescue or you had a cat charity, right? You could create these things and theme each of them. So like whenever I opened up, you know, for Memorial Day, I had all these Memorial Day posts, and then you can, connects to your Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everything. And then you can just hit, yeah, I want it to post all these platforms, you can schedule it, and it's video and sound, right? I could probably upload video of myself and do it through it, but it's more of like, I like a good picture that comes in, picture, open house, and then it, shows you the thing is 3 bedrooms, like all the, it's just a really easy, clean way to do it, and it pushes it all out. And then obviously you can use command as well, just depends on what you like to create.
I just use the Reels templates on
Yeah.
Instagram and keep it pretty simple and go from there. The one, I have like equipment in my bag, I have like a ring light and a tripod.
I love
That's probably
Mhm.
the only other thing I use on Instagram.
Awesome.
The ring light is cool. Yeah, I love that.
So-
Lighting is cute.
Nikki, let's give us some tips, best practices for, you staying top of mind on social media, right? Because if you were to disappear, you would probably lose some followers in some aspect, right? Like people aren't gonna unfriend you on Facebook, probably for you not posting, but what are you doing? What are your best practices when you were just kind of getting the mindset to post?
I just don't want anybody to forget what I do,
Yeah,
whether it's subliminal, whether it's, and I think we have a lot of conversations, but I want people to know that there is a why. We are in this to make a ton, who doesn't want to? But the way we come across is it's not like we're just making tons of money and we're buying houses and all stuff. This is my why, and this is, everybody knows the why. And so I feel like, I just want to stay top of mind for them in our community. I want them to know that we are still relevant in our community, that we are still in charge of all the events. And if you want an event or you want to know what's happening in the community, we are your people. In fact, next week, we are hiring a videographer to come and shoot a video for just our neighborhood.
and that's Candelas.
That is conducted, yeah. About
You forgot.
the school, the pools, the parks, the trails, the area development that's going on. And this will be B-roll that goes out into our videos, as well as we're making a Candelas video to post on YouTube, to send to referral partners all around the country. So you incorporate the social media part, but we are looking at bigger pictures also.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money and it's a big investment, but I want anybody and everybody to know that this is our neighborhood.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I know it is.
And layering on to that, we're also going down the road of working to better utilize SEO, so search engine technology, and looking at doing some investments in that. So whenever you search, I'm very competitive. I want people to search Arvada, Colorado homes, and I want Ann Homes, Colorado to come up in the top 6 searches. It's gonna take us a while to get there. It's gonna take some money to get there.
Yeah.
But that's the next, to me, that's our next phase, in pushing this out.
Yeah. What other tips do you have?
Just keep going.
Mhm.
Don't give, that's the thing, honestly, it truly took me 2 years to start really churning a business as a real estate agent. My first year, it's still the joke. Margaret and I joke about it all the time. My husband looked at me and was like, I don't think this is gonna work. And he would leave me job applications on my desk or job descriptions for different corporate jobs, right? And I had applied for 250 jobs when I got laid off, before I decided to go into real estate. Don't give up. And here's the thing, it's not always going to be an immediate payoff. We were talking earlier about postcards and all these things. The thing is it's about consistently getting in front of people, getting your name out there. I hate to sound it, but if you're looking for instant gratification, this is probably not the job for you.
Yeah.
It's effort. It's a bit of a roller coaster. There's high highs and low lows, but if you consistently go after it and continue to go after it, and it sounds so cliche because whenever I came to KW, I was like, these people can't be this nice. And this can't honestly, and they can't, you can't tell me that by doing all of these things that seem so simple, but the magic's in actually doing them, that I could actually be successful. Well, I can sit here 6 years later and tell you, I am a product of that success. But what sets everybody aside from either being successful or not is just your level of commitment to yourself.
Yeah.
If you commit to yourself, if you commit to your strategy, whatever your strategy is for you, because honestly, it has to be authentic to you. Otherwise, it's gonna be like, I don't want to knock on somebody's door. I prefer to leave something and run away. Social media might be your thing. Door knocking might be your thing. Please, dear God, go work open houses. There's so many unrepresented buyers, and while you're there working somebody else's open house, do a video while you're there. Your friends don't know that that's not your listing, or the people on your store don't know that that's not your listing, right? Just persevere, because you can get there. The difficulty is, will you put in work? Will you do it? And that's what's going to separate you from success and going and working for somebody else.
Absolutely. Erica?
I'm gonna start to sound like a broken record, but I think using reels is helpful. I will get likes on something I posted 2 weeks ago. I'll get likes and shares on that stuff because of the sound that's being pumped out. So anytime I have an opportunity to do that, I think it helps. Also, kind of along those lines, taking videos at open houses of different rooms and then just keeping that as B-roll. So if I'm not feeling well and don't want to film a reel, now I can take a video of a nice kitchen and just add some text over the top and use that trending sound to get back into it. So I think just trying to be creative and being consistent and understanding what works for you and what you can keep up with.
I have a quick question for you, Rose. Okay, so when you do this, how do people, it's your cat and people are looking at your cat? Yeah, so if people are looking at your cat, how are they connected back to you and how are they connected back to your business, your, real estate business? That's where I'm like losing that connection. Like, how's that connecting it back to you? If there's so many people looking at just the cat.
I think the point of the reels is just to drive traffic to my page.
Okay.
And then I think people are gonna go look and see like what other content does this
Okay.
person have. I mean, that's what I do when I see a cute cat video, is like, is this the person I want to follow? What type of content do they have? And also potentially your other content is gonna get pushed out to them too.
Okay.
And it's kind of similarly, like I think everybody's said already, is also trying to put personal things on your business page, is because people want to feel connected to you and that they know what you're about and what you like, and there's something that they have to talk to you about already, even if it's my cat, if that starts a conversation.
I also have a question. So do you guys put the same thing that you post on Facebook on Instagram, or do you, because I don't know what to do. I've been posting it on both. But I don't know if I'm supposed to post something on Facebook and then something different on Instagram. Cause I don't really do Instagram, so I don't know if I just do different posts.
I mean, because of the fact that they're integrated too, it's just so easy to be like, post on Facebook and on Instagram. And like I said, for Ripple,
Yeah.
I can post, I post to all the platforms. I just post, yeah.
Okay, so
Well, it's different people, but
Mhm.
like some people will look different to Facebook, some people will Instagram, so you still want people to see the
Yeah.
same message.
Mhm.
And it's also a nice, easy button.
And I try to alternate, and I'll do a post, and then the next day I do a story, that lasts for 2 days, and then I do a post, and then a story for 2 days. So there's something somewhere,
Do you all boost your posts?
I have,
So I try not to through Facebook. If I'm going to run an ad, I want to do it through Command. Because Command integrates with Facebook and then any leads go directly to your CRM, right? Now, so I'm having issues with Command syncing with all of my Facebook type things. So like I can easily run an ad from my Amanda Ryder Keller Williams Avenues page. But for some reason, it won't like easily let me run one from Ann Holmes Colorado's Facebook page. Whenever I had when we had the Candelas garage sale a few weeks ago, I did actually boost those. One, I actually did it under the Candelas community page, which I have a managerial role in, and so I was able to blast it out that way, so it looked like it was coming from the community page. But then I also did a paid ad as well. I prefer, like I said, if I can just get Command to always work with my Facebook and communicate, I'd prefer to do it through Command because that's a better catch of the leads that you're gonna get from there than doing it through like, I don't really like the Meta business sweet. I don't at all.
It's definitely confusing, and it's hard. I've been taking a course on how to run ads.
Okay.
It's hard to use, but it will get you more traction than boosting typically. But I will say that if you're running a housing ad specifically, if you're running an ad for a open house or whatever, I used to have listings to leads and I would use that and I got rid of it because I would go to command and command. So Facebook has rules now that they didn't used to have where you used to be able to say, I want to target people whose favorite thing is Zillow and who like this and who like this and who are within this target area. And you used to be able to get really specific, and on housing ads, you can't do that anymore, except on command. Which
Thank
is,
you, Cambridge Analytica.
it literally like, cause I did a side by side comparison a year or so ago with Charlie and a couple of other people, and I was running ads on my listings to lead page, and I was running ads on here. And like, it wasn't even a comparison. It's like, because you have the option to put those likes and stuff in there on the KW platform, we have so much more power for housing ads than other people that are just trying to advertise directly on Facebook, so much more. So if you're gonna run a housing ad, use command 100%.
I'd say even with my garage sale ads, when I ran them through Facebook, at first they were denied because if it's related to, they considered it as housing. And so I had that, and now I had done this considerably in advance for once, thank God. Because usually I'm a last minute kind of gal. And I had the time, so I challenged it and asked for another review and they approved it, because it was about a garage sale, right? You know, it's not selling a house, it's a whole bunch of houses selling their crap. And so they approved it, but you know, to that point, yeah, I've definitely had other things like that get turned down through Facebook.
Yeah.
And I'd rather go through command anyways, because I'd rather capture those leads, not Facebook capture my leads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think command has a great wealth of. Yeah. So the cost of ad spend versus the number of leads that you get back is so much better.
Okay. So we got about 4 minutes left. Want to open it up to the room. Does anyone have any questions for either of these four? We can talk Facebook business page, Instagram, personal page. What questions do you have for someone?
No one TikToks?
I was just talking about it earlier, saying I'm too old for TikTok. I don't know, TikTok is awesome and it's really funny, but I don't know how to use it to. I just watch the videos.
Yeah.
I've been using reels on Facebook more often now, because they have ways for you to create them really easily. And again, with my kids, that's what I've been doing, like they do something cool and then I put a really cool song behind it and bam, it looks awesome and people love it, and the reels have been huge. Like, even though it's fairly, you know, it's basically TikTok on Facebook, but it's for people who don't wanna download another app.
I think for TikTok, as far as it is for your genre of who you're marketing to.
Yeah.
Majority of the people we market to are not watching TikTok. It, you know, I like to, but mine are like decor and, you know, decorating and, you know, things like that, but. I don't think the people we market to are looking at TikTok for real estate purposes. For entertainment.
I also haven't figured out how to create content that I like for TikTok yet.
Yes.
Other than the reels, but like, I don't know, I just haven't figured that out yet.
I can't even figure out the CapCut. For example, the CapCut, and I'm like, oh my God, I still can't figure out how to do it.
How long it took me to figure out how to get AI pictures of myself? I mean, come on now. I didn't have the analog childhood and the digital adulthood. I mean, here's the thing, like, you know, Facebook, thank God, didn't come out until after I was out of college.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it depends on, you know, what you're interested in, your demographic. Are you marketing to, you know, 19 to 30-year-olds? Are you in the 40-year-olds? Or, you know, most of our clients, I would say, are 40s and up. Yeah, 40s. I mean, our latest client was in her 80s. You know what I mean? So she's definitely not looking at TikTok. She doesn't even have a modern mic, she doesn't even have a modern microwave, for God's sakes. So it just depends on, you know, what you're looking at. You know, like for the garage sale, for example, Colorado Community Media, that's Arvada Press or any of your other like local little like papers and stuff. It was $60 to market our garage sale through there. We had a big ad in the classifieds, it's on all the little web pages, you know, That's where a lot of those types of folks who are looking to go and hit some garage sales. Where look, that was the best $60 I spent, and our picture and information was everywhere. And the other thing I wish I would have learned, put a QR code on it, put a QR code on everything. So people can scan it and find and go into your database of, do they want to know the price of their house? Do they want to know what they qualify for? There's all sorts of little things, like every time we do a mailer and we put that on there, we're always interested to see within a couple of weeks after the mailer goes out, how many more people in that geographical area got added to our database. And it happens. And they might not call you for a year, but when they do call you, it's totally worth it.
Awesome. Hey, super appreciate you for your. Oh, I can go ahead.
Yep, so I actually have a subscription to a QR code creator. You can get like very easy ones online just through Google, but you can get them free. But if you subscribe to one though, it will save all of your codes and then they never expire.
So go to qrcode-monkey.com. It's free and you link it to whatever website or link that you're doing. I can even put our logo in the middle of all the QR codes, or I have HomeBot, so I put HomeBot, but qrcode-monkey.com and you'll get free QR codes all day.
And Canva does as well.
Yep.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of how long the QR code is active for.
Still worth it.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have one where I think I paid like $5 for the whole year and it saves every single one of my QR codes forever.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Amanda, Nikki, Erica, Renee, thank you. Super appreciate it, guys.
All right, so now I need to know what your Instagram account is.
Okay,
I'm gonna be calling my Instagram.
I have got to see the.
Yeah.
All right, but it's